your game, talk your shit, grab your gap. Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap. Spit your game, talk your shit, grab your gap. On your face, spit your game, talk your shit.
Welcome everybody to another episode of your Spit Your Game podcast. Today, we got another Greenwood legend, Southern Miss great, and the 200th pick of the 2000 NFL draft. We got Sherrod Gideon. What's up, man? How's everything going?
Everything's good, man. Everything's nice. Everything's going well.
Okay. What you got going on now, man? What you got going on for yourself?
Yeah, I'm coaching. Been back doing some high school football coaching for the last 15 years. Just want to come back and kind of give back into the area which I was born and raised in, and try to help some kids to live out their dream.
Okay, cool, man. So you're in Yazoo right now?
Yeah, I just finished up this previous season in Yazoo City coaching football.
Okay. And previously you was in LaFleur?
I was in Greenville. Then I first started out in LaFleur County.
Okay.
Was there 7 years. Then went to Greenville and over to Yazoo.
Okay, cool. So Greenwood, Mississippi, man. You was born and raised?
Born and raised, GP, one of the most famous neighborhoods in the town. One of the famous neighborhoods everyone knows in GP, so born and raised in Greenwood.
Okay. You got any brothers and sisters, man?
Oh yeah. I got 2 brothers, and my sister, she just recently passed.
Okay. Sorry to hear about that, man.
A year ago, so I have down 2 brothers living here.
Okay. Any kids?
Yeah, I have one daughter, Carrington Gideon. She's 10 years old, and she's a 5th grader here at Davis Elementary School.
Okay. She likes sports and
She not really, but she tried to keep up with it. She gonna chastise me on everything I do, so she tried to keep up with it a little bit.
Okay. All right, so Greenwood, man, you said GP, or the West Side as they call it now.
The West Side GP,
Yes.
yeah, man, yeah.
So how was it growing up in the neighborhood, man? How was it growing up? How was your upbringing?
Man, like I say, being from an area like this, especially Mississippi Delta, Mississippi, one of the poorest areas in the United States. Then you go into the Mississippi Delta, which is the poorest area in the state. We didn't have too many resources, but like I say, back then coming up, we had a lot of love for each other, man. It's not it's going away from that now, what's going on in the neighborhoods. But like I say, we didn't have very much in terms of resources, but we were rich in love and tradition back then, man. All the families stayed together, man. Everybody had love for one another, and we just had a good time. We was poor, but we didn't know we was poor by how everyone loved each other, man. So it was kind of fun growing up.
Yeah, I can totally agree, man. I'm not too many years far from you, but it was a lot of love back in the days, man. It was they was making sure you weren't getting in trouble if you had the people. Hey, I'm gonna tell your mama. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the village, man. The village was really going on back then, man. The village raised all of us back then, and as you see, a lot of people from back in my age, we grew up to do great things and not having too many resources, but still got out and did some great things.
Yeah, that's good, man. Okay, so what sport did you fall in love with first? Was it football, basketball?
Well, it was basketball, man. Early on, I was a star basketball player around. Come from Davis Elementary, man. We used to have those games Saturday, man, and we probably had more people at the games than the high school, man. It was jam-packed, and like I say, being a 7th and 8th grader, man, and going out there averaging 20 points a game. And then going to junior high and doing it. So it was basketball was my first love. But then I got into football and kind of started taking a liking to football.
Okay, so what age would you say like you really fell in love with basketball? Like you said, that's your first love. So what age you probably started?
Man, early, real early. Like everyone from the neighborhood. If you were from GP, man, everybody knew Sherrod from getting up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, man, bouncing that basketball, going out to the basketball court, man, cause that's pretty much all we had, man. So we would get up, man, go get some of my guys with me, man. We'd be at the park at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, man, playing basketball. This is like 7 and 8 years old. So that was one of the things that we did, and I knew then that I wanted to get into sports.
Okay. Back then, playing on the park, man, that was like a full day, man. That was like 6 to 6,
sun
6
up,
to 8.
Sun up to sundown. Yeah, everybody coming, the porch lights on, get home. But in that time there, we're going to be playing sports.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, wasn't anybody, man, that you looked up to sports-wise, like, was it in basketball? It could have been around the neighborhood. It could have been somebody professional. Was it anybody that you looked up to?
Yeah, coming up, man, my guy was Todd Day, man. Todd Day, Arkansas Razorback, man. I used to love Todd. That's why I started wearing number 10, man.
Okay.
I used to love watching Arkansas play, man. And Todd Day, man, he was my guy, so I wanted to do a lot of things that he did. So coming up earlier, man, when I wanted to have that basketball dream, it was Todd Day, man. I love watching Arkansas, Nolan Richardson.
Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah, man. So that was my guy there.
Was that didn't they have Corliss Williamson too?
Corliss Williamson,
Big Nasty,
Big Nasty, yeah, all those guys. Yeah, those were the days there, man. When I had those hoop dreams, that was my guy, Todd Day.
Yeah, Todd. Hey, Todd. I think Todd Day. I think he got drafted by Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, and now
I remember Todd.
Yeah,
man.
he do things for the Memphis Grizzlies. So when a lot of times I go to the game, I see him down there on the court and still doing stuff with the Grizzlies. So I was like, there's the guy there who I grew up want to be like, Todd Day.
Okay. So like you said, basketball was your first love. So when did you really take it serious? Like, what age where you was like, this is something I want to probably do professionally, or look into doing it professionally?
Well, once I got to high school and kind of, start picking up on my game, my football game, started taking it off. That's when I started taking football more seriously. You know what I'm saying? I still love basketball, but I said my thing would be in football, and that's what I took off in football.
Okay. So middle school, what middle school you went to?
Davis Elementary School. Back then, the middle school, all of us came together for one at the 9th grade. Yeah, we had one middle school, so it was Davis Elementary.
Okay. So in middle school, you played football and basketball, or how did that go?
Yeah, they started. I think I played 1 year of football. They were just getting it started. They had been doing the basketball, but then they started football, and I went out there and played some receiver, and I was light years ahead of a lot of those guys out there, man. So I kind of started feeling like I could do something on the football field.
Okay. So now you're in high school, you're in 9th grade. Were you leaning towards one sport more than the other one, or was it still equally like,
When I got to 9th grade, like I say, that was middle school.
Okay, still middle school. Okay.
Yeah, because we just had one 9th grade, not like it is now. So 10
go
through
10th
12.
grade then.
Okay, 10th grade, first year of high school. Went out there, started at wide receiver. Well, I started basketball and football, but at receiver, I was doing some good things out there on the football field early on. So that's when I kind of turned my attention to the game of football.
Okay. So now, like I said, 10th grade. Who was y'all coach at football?
Actually, 10th grade was Coach Hall.
Coach Hall.
Coach Hall, the head coach. We had 3 different coaches. All 3 of my years, man, we had 3 different head coaches. Coach Hall, Coach Terry Moore, and David Bradbury. So all 3 of my high school years, we had 3 different head coaches.
Okay. So 10th grade, you played football, and you said you played basketball too? So
high school, I still played both all through high school.
Okay, so who was the coach for basketball?
My 10th grade year was Coach Maddox, and my last 2 years was Coach Lemon. Coach Lemon, who was my junior high coach for the 9th grade team. He got bumped up to the high school head coach. Then I started playing for him.
Okay, old coach, man.
Yeah, Coach Lemon. Yeah, that was my guy, man. That was my guy.
Yeah, man. So football. So the football team. So who were some other standout players on the team, man, for that football? I know y'all was loaded. I can remember, man. I know y'all was loaded.
From my 10th through 12th grade.
Look, don't name the whole 50 song roster.
Man. Yeah. We had Bert Keys, man. We had just people. Had Neil out there. Yeah. Man, we Cleo Lemon. Man, we had Keith Grant and then guys on the O-line, man. We just had so many.
Yeah, I would say y'all.
Yeah, I know I'm leaving 20, 30 guys out.
Look, I thought about it. I said, I forgot that team was loaded. I remember that team. That team was loaded.
Man,
Y'all, exactly. All 3 of your years,
all 3 of my years, man. We had some guys, man. I'm talking. We had some guys.
Okay, so I remember seeing. I was talking to, when I had the interview with Slim. I seen the basketball pictures and stuff, man. So how was it, man? Just playing basketball with that type of squad, knowing you got him, you got Bird out there, you got TJ, you got I can't think. Kedra, I think Kedra was out there. Kedra so how was it, man, just playing around people that you basically kind of grew up with? Oh, man, it was great, man. Like I say back then, man, we really had Greenwood on the map, man. We did some great things on the basketball and the football field, man. And then, like I say, practice, everything, very competitive. We had our fun, and like I say, playing with the guys you grew up with, it's nothing better than that. We meet up at the park, and all of us go to practice, walk to practice together. So it was nothing like the camaraderie we had. And I tell everybody, man, that's why people, whether you in college or whether you in pro, that's the thing you grow, even though you're making money and that type of thing. But the camaraderie is what everybody is really live for. We see these guys that don't want to retire and things like that. It don't be not necessarily for the money. But people say, he got so much money, why is getting up just hanging out with the guys every day, man, all day long? There's no better feeling than that. So you miss that bond, man, that you got
exactly.
With your, exactly. And it's nothing like it, man. Like you say, from high school and 20, 25, 30 years removed, you can always go back and remember those days and laugh with some of the guys that's still here and still have that bond, man. So I totally agree. So okay, let's move up forward to your senior year. So let's go with basketball first. How did your senior year in basketball end? Like, were y'all in the playoffs? Who did y'all play? Like, how did that end? Yeah, man, we had it was kind of different. We had a great season. We finished like 23-10 or something like that. Had a great season, but toward the end, we kind of we were playing in the district championship, playing against Tupelo. I remember like yesterday. Back then, they were only taking 2 teams to the playoffs, so it was gonna be us and Tupelo, 1 and 2. Okay. And we played them, and I'll never forget it, man. We had went up by 20 points, man, and Coach Lemon kind of took us out to start us out for a minute. We never could got back in, never could get that groove back, and ended up losing that game to Tupelo, man, and ended up had to go down to Jackson Murray for the first round of the playoff. They had guy Sam Funches, and he was 6'10" guy signed with UConn, and another guard from LSU. And then we had me and Slim as our go-to guys. So, man, it was a jam, man. It was a jam-packed that night, but they ended up getting the best of us, man. And Tupelo ended up going on and beating the team they played and going on in the tournament. So I think we gave a district championship away and ended up had to go and play a tough team and ended up losing in the first round of the playoffs this year. It's hard going to Jackson to play a team from Jackson. Especially Jackson Murray, because they had all kinds of tradition back then. Oh, yeah. Like I said, the game was down to the wire. Like, a lot of people came from Greenwood up there, man. So it was a really nice game. Okay. So football. So how did your football season end? Almost exact same thing. Lost in the same city. Go down and play Jackson Provine. My senior year, I had to stop playing. So I had to play quarterback because our quarterback had graduated my junior year, so I had to play quarterback my senior year. And we had to go play the number 2 team in the state, first round, Provine. Never forget that game. We was up 7-3. I had just ran like a 65-yard touchdown with like 5 minutes left to go in the game, put us up 7-3, and last drive, our defense had held them all night long, and that last drive, they took it down and scored, man. It ended up being a 10-7, and they were the number 2. They ended up going to the championship game that year. That year, so like I said, it was 2 hard losses, man, my senior year. But we did some great things, like I said. Man, just to think, man, your senior year, football and basketball, you had the team to potentially win state championships, man, in both sports, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so did you receive any acknowledgments, like, here in Greenwood, they have the All Commonwealth team? So were you on there for football and basketball? Oh yeah, I was first team in basketball, and I was the player of the year in football for the All Commonwealth team. Okay. Here in Greenwood, yeah. Okay. What about the Dandy Dozen? No, I didn't make Dandy Dozen. I made the top 150. Back then, they were coming up with those Athlon sporting books, so I was one of the top 50 athletes in the South. So that was a big accomplishment. We always used to rush that's in summertime, man, go out to Walmart and get those Athlon sports books just to see all the top guys in the nation and to see me in those books, man. It was really a big thing. Okay. It kind of proves like, you know, I'm doing something.
Exactly.
From a small town in Greenwood. I'm in this book, and they acknowledge me.
Right.
I know that
people
meant
from
a lot
Florida
to
and Georgia and out Tennessee. So
Yeah.
that was really big right there.
Okay, so all right, so now your senior year is over with. So I remember you saying you played quarterback your senior year.
Right.
And then, but your true position is wide receiver, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so who was recruiting you? Okay, so first I know football was your longevity. That's what you did. So was anybody recruiting you from basketball from your?
No, nobody. Like I said, I had pretty much put my time into
to football.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
with your height, man. You know, basketball guys, those guys be tall and long. So I was standing 5'10", 5'11". So. Yeah.
Look, you going up against a 6'4" point guard. You're like,
exactly. So it just turned to football.
Football,
man.
okay.
Everything was football.
Okay, so in football, who all recruited you coming out of high school?
Man, I was getting
I'm sure you had letters everywhere, man.
From every school in the nation, man. Every school. But I knew I wanted to stay in state. And just what happened the year I came out, Mississippi State and Ole Miss was on probation that year. Both of those schools on probation, so that's why I decided to go to Southern Miss.
Yeah, look, cancel them two out already. They on probation,
they was counting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask what made you go to Southern Miss, but you said you wanted to stay in state. Why did you want to stay in state? You want to be closer to the fam, or what made you want to stay in state?
Just to put on for the home state, man. Back then I just thought it was nothing like to support your home state instead of going out of state and probably had to play against a team from your home state. Just stay home and get the recognition at home and have eyes on the state of Mississippi.
Okay, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Repping hometown, man, is always good, and it's always good seeing people that go to go to the colleges in Mississippi. They strive, even if it's not from Greenwood. It could be from Grenada or from Greenville. It don't matter. It's just good to see people going to Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Southern Miss, and just kind of putting on for especially for their home team, because that's where they from. Okay, so now you're at Southern Miss. So you're at wide receiver. So your freshman year, which was 96, correct? 96 was your freshman year?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so it looked like you was getting your feet wet. You had you played 11 games. You had 33 receptions, 500 yards, with 33 receptions, 500 yards receiving, and a touchdown. So your freshman year, man, were you just trying to get the feel of playing for a D1, trying to get your feet wet, man? How did that go your senior year?
Your freshman year. That was my redshirt freshman year. Because my freshman year I actually went down there and redshirted.
Okay.
So when I first got on campus, like I said, I made a big splash, man. I don't think they never seen a receiver like me to come to Southern Miss like that. So all eyes was on me, man. From the first camp, from the first time I stepped down there on campus. But we had some guys ahead of me, some seniors that been playing a while. So I guess the coach wanted those guys to go out there and play that year. So I got redshirted my freshman year. Like I say, that was my redshirt freshman year.
Okay.
Well, when I did those, like those big numbers back then, man, those 33 catches, 500. I think that year me and Randy Moss was the two freshman All-American guys that year. I think he had similar numbers.
His freshman year.
Yeah. So so there was some gaudy numbers to go and do that my first year playing. Okay,
so let me ask you this: do you think taking that red shirt helped you?
Yeah, especially with everything, getting acclimated to campus, getting acclimated to going to class, being 3 hours away from home. Never been away from home before, and I'm from the Delta, and you going from here to Hattiesburg is, it's just a total different outlook. I know my first couple of weeks there, I was wanting to come home bad, man. Yeah, I was ready to leave and come home. Like I said, not knowing anyone. My roommate on somebody I did know. He was from Greenville, and we were roommates.
Okay.
But man, I was sitting out there at practice, man, nobody on campus. I'm like, man, I'm ready to go home. And then when the kids started coming in, man, all the females and stuff started hitting the campus. Things got better, man. Things got better.
Well, I bet you're like, you know what? I'm starting to like this after all.
Yeah, things got better in the hurry. So you ended up loving it.
All right. So now I'm moving to your sophomore year, 97. And from the looks, man, from your freshman year to your sophomore year, I mean, you made a tremendous jump, man. 12 games you played, 54 receptions, 1,008 yards receiving, and 9 TDs. You was number 1 in Conference USA in receiving yards, number 1 in yards per catch. So how did that feel making that stride? Was it like, I'm finna show these boys what this Delta boy can do? I mean, what was that?
Just get comfortable, man. Once I got comfortable and we brought a new coordinator in, Larry Kick. Yeah, I just mentioned Randy Moss. He was at Marshall. They offensive coordinator was Larry Kick, and he came from Marshall to Southern Miss.
Okay.
And so we went from a pro style offense to sort of a spread offense. One of the first spread offense to come through. So once he did that, man, and started putting the ball in the air a little bit more, yeah, I just took off.
Yeah, you definitely did that, because I also see that year y'all played in the Liberty Bowl against Pitt, and y'all beat them 41-7, and you got MVP. You caught 3 touchdowns that game. So, man, how did that feel, man, putting on for the city of Greenwood and Hattiesburg, but also getting the MVP of the Liberty Bowl?
Oh, that was great, man. Like I say, especially coming to Memphis, right close, right here, close to the hometown. A lot of people came down, man. I can remember a lot of friends and family being at that game, man, and they was hyping it up all week. And yeah, I went out, man. That's pretty much my national coming out party. After that game right there, they did an article on me, one of the top young receivers to watch in Sports Illustrated. So seeing myself in Sports Illustrated, like I said, I was the offensive MVP and also the game MVP. So I had brought home two trophies.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, from the
double
game
the fun.
that night. Yeah, double the fun. So that was my kind of coming out party on the national stage.
Okay, because, I mean, nowadays, I guess so now, but back then, it really was, would you say it really was like running?
Exactly.
It was like running. It wasn't too much passing back in the days. And then for y'all to be in the spread and you to put those numbers up, man, it was like, golly, where this guy come from?
Exactly. That was everybody like, what exactly, like, where this kid come from? And like I say, people all around the nation start watching me after that game right there, because the national televised game on ESPN, you know, during the bowl season when everybody watching sports, and to go out and put on a performance like that, man, it was something else.
Okay. So now your junior year, you don't fall off too short, because here you was number 2 in the Conference USA with 1,186 yards. You was number 2 in Conference USA in yards per catch with 18 yards per catch, but you was number 1 in TDs. Man, how was that? I think you had 13 that year, your junior year, if I'm right.
Yeah, 13
yeah,
TDs.
So and you was number 3 in the NCAA in touchdowns. So, man, you went, your yards shot up, your yards per catch was kind of the same, but the TDs went way up from 9 to 13. So, man, and then you was number 3 in the NCAA, the whole college, man. So how was that like, man? Did you was like, man, I got to put this stuff in the end zone to really kind of how did that feel?
Yeah, everything just slowed down. Like I said, when I came my sophomore year and did what I did with those 1,000 yards, coming back the next year, man, things had slowed down so much. Teams had started, even with those numbers there, a lot of teams were double teaming me. I knew if I wasn't playing against an SEC school, those other schools were going to double team me and try to take me away from the offense. So most of those yards came against some of the top teams in the nation, man. Tennessee Volunteers and schools of that magnitude with Peyton Manning and them. So
yeah,
it was great to start doing, man. Like you say, 13. In those stats back then, they wasn't counting the bowl game. So now they count the bowl game with these. So if you count the bowl game those 2 years, I would even with the guys behind me at Southern Miss, they getting their bowl games counted. So if you was counting a bowl game, those numbers really would be shot up. But like I say, man, that was my junior year, man. That was a fun year, man. Did some great stuff. Even had a chance to come out. If I wanted to come out to the draft, I could have came out. Guys gave me a good draft grade. But like I said, I was having fun at school, man. So I just wanted to stay there. And come back and do my senior year.
Okay, so I was just about to ask that question. With those type of stats your sophomore year and those type of stats your junior year, what made you come back for your senior year? Because those stats right there was like at least first to third round worthy in my eyes. What made you come back for your senior year at Southern Miss?
Just looking at it, like I said, when me and my head coach, we had to sit down, man, and looked at everything, getting all the draft information available. Like you said, my junior year, they had me anywhere from, late first to the third round. But he gave me the projection for my senior year. I was coming back, I was going to be the number 2 receiver on the draft board. They had Peter Ward, this from Mel Kiper, the guy. Who
old Mel.
Yeah, so,
Todd and Mel.
Yeah, so he had... I was the second senior receiver and third overall receiver on the board. They had Peter Warwick, number 1 senior receiver. I was number 2, and overall they had Peter Warwick, and they had Travis Taylor from Florida. He was a junior that year.
Okay, yeah, I remember Travis Taylor.
Yeah, and then they had me third after him.
Okay.
So I just looked at the monetary value from going out my junior year to my senior year would be, much greater if I just waited my senior year and not get hurt of some of that nature.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was finna allude to. So your senior year in '99, you played 8 games. He had 40 receptions, 520 yards, and still had 7 TDs. But you only played 8 games. What happened?
I think it should be less games than that. It should be around 6 games because I know early on I missed a game earlier in the season, but then the 7th game of the season, that's when I tore my ankle up, man. I really messed my ankle up really bad, and kind of thing that you didn't want to see happen, going into your senior year. You didn't lay the foundation for your work, and then to come in and have that type of injury, man, it was really devastating.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, growing up, man, like I said, I was young, but I still was trying to keep up with people that I knew was from Greenwood and going, and I always wonder, it's like, man, did he get hurt or whatever, you know what I mean? But like you said, you had tore your ankle up or whatever, so that's an unfortunate incident. I know you looking back at it, I know you was like, man, I know, you hate that for anybody, man, because you coming back knowing you finna put on the show.
Right, exactly.
Knowing you finna show out.
Exactly.
And then that stuff happened,
and have an injury, so just part of it, man. You can look back and second guess it and should have came out my junior year or anything like that, but, I think everything just be God's plan for your life, you know what I'm saying? So just took it with a grain of salt, man, and just kept going.
Okay, so also on those Southern Miss teams, you had Adalius Thomas, and you had your, wide receiver sidekick, Ty Pinkston. So how was it playing with those guys, man? They ended up going to the NFL. You and Ty was like one of the top combos in the country. Not just the Conference USA, but in the country. But how was that, man, playing with those guys, man? Oh, man,
it was great, man. Both of those guys, I roomed with both of those guys during my career at Southern Miss, so that stuff great, man. And like we were talking about earlier, about the camaraderie, man. Me and those guys, we still talk now, man. Every other day we talking to each other, but it was great out there, man. Like you say, me and Todd being a receiver, man, it was hard for teams to cover us, man. A lot of joking, a lot of playing, man. We just had some fun, man. A lot of fun at school.
Yeah.
Going to class and just doing what kids do.
Yeah.
When Saturday came, man, we just went on the field and, just did our thing.
Yeah, performed. Because Todd was like, what, 6'4", 6'5", something like that?
Yeah, he was like 6'3".
6'3", okay, 6'3". I know he was kind of, but he lanky. He was lanky.
Slim, yeah, he was 6'3", about 150 pounds.
Yeah.
Tall and real skinny, boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I remember that. I was like, man, that dude just skin and bones out there, man. But hey, he was catching that thing, though. Okay, so now your year over with at your senior year over with at Southern Miss. So y'all had a pro day. Were you able to compete in the pro day, or how did that go?
No, I wasn't able to do too much, man. Like I said, my junior year, I was invited to the Senior Bowl and all those type of things. But like I said, after the injury, man, it was going back and forth to the doctors, man, and really still didn't get it figured out during that time. It was a lot going on, and so like I said, a lot of the stuff that you do at the end of your senior year, I wasn't, able to do it. Even had to withdraw from school, man, and try to get it some second opinions on my ankle, man, trying to get everything right with it.
Okay, so even with all that ankle injury, even with 7 touchdowns your senior year, it's still productive. Some people don't get 7 touchdowns and they can play 12 games, 13 games. So, I mean, that's still productive. But with all that, you still got drafted in the 6th round, a 200th pick in a 2000 NFL draft by the New Orleans Saints. But first, I was reading something. It says that you were picked right after Tom Brady.
Yeah. That's my guy, man. Man, Brady, that's my guy, man. He probably, me and him, once we doing some training in New Orleans, and I went out to the East-West All-Star game where he was the quarterback on the team. You know, I couldn't play or nothing, but he was my quarterback. I used to mess with him every day for practice, man. The guy kind of he was getting tired of it, I could tell, but but that was my guy though, man. I kept messing with him. I thought he was the punter when I first seen him. He was a tall, skinny kid. Like, man, what you the punter? So yeah, Brady. Yeah, I came right after him, man.
Okay. That's it. Look, the rest is history.
The rest is history. The rest is history.
Okay, so so where was you when you got the call about getting drafted or whatever? You got that phone call. Where were you?
I was over my aunt's house, over right here in Greenwood, over on Pine Street, and just sitting down waiting. And I remember it like yesterday. I saw the 504 number come across the telephone, and I'm answered the phone, and it was the head coach for the New Orleans Saints, man. Asked me was I healthy, and I couldn't do nothing but tell him yeah.
I'm healthy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he told me. He just told me to watch the TV. They picked coming up. He just told me to watch the TV screen, and came across the TV screen, had my name on there, and man, that was a big thing, man. Even go through that type of situation and get a phone call like that and see your name come across the TV. Only so many people gonna get a chance to do that. And, so that was a big thing, man. That was a big thing, and being right close, New Orleans, right up the street. So that was a good thing right there.
I know. I'm sure it probably was, emotional. Like say, what you went through your senior year. Now you getting that call, regardless of what the pick number or whatever, man. Just getting that call, man. I'm sure that was just emotional, not only for you, but just for your family in general.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Everybody was up in arms, man. Just being excited about it and just getting an opportunity, man. That's all you can ask for, an opportunity. There's one on the, you don't go to a higher level than that, man.
Right.
Like I say, only 200 some kids getting drafted out of all these players that plays college football. So there was
over 1,000 something. You 200, so you can't beat that. That ain't a great percentage. I don't know what it is. Okay, so let me ask you this question. So you get drafted. Was your ankle ever the same? I know you rehab and you was trying to get back. Did it ever get back to 100%?
Never, man. Never got back to 100%. All my time in pro was around 80% at best. Even when I got to the Saints and we got to training camp, I only lasted like the first week of training camp, man. My ankle went back out again. Definitely I went up. I went out to Birmingham, Alabama to the guy who started Bo Jackson, who did the Bo Jackson
his
surgery.
Yeah, okay.
So he was a well-known, orthopedic surgeon back then. So I went to him and he looked at my ankle and he told me he didn't know if I'd be able to run again. I was like, man, come on, are you serious? To hear those type of things from a guy that know what he's talking about.
Right, exactly.
So he said he'll go in and do the surgery and go in and see what he can do. And like I say, he did, and I stayed down there rehab about 3 or 4 months, and ended up getting picked up by the Dolphins for the last 6 games of the season. And like I say, my ankle wasn't, never got back to the same. I remember, man, had to take 2 packs of Advil every day just to go out to be able to run on it, man. So it was troubling time with it, but like I say, I'm grateful for the time that and the opportunity that I did have to go and play.
Okay, yeah, definitely, man. 2 packs of Advil, man. But I think you've been the addict out there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Popping pills like that.
Right.
Okay, so you end up going to the Rams also, the practice squad, right? So I gotta ask you this question because I'm hoping I'm right. So I remember watching Rap City. Right. I remember watching Rap City when I was younger. Right. And I remember they had a pool table. Right. And I think it was Isaac Bruce, Marshall Falk, Torrey Holt, and Isaac King. And I remember some other guy that was right there. And so I don't know who it was. They was like, they called you Greenwood or something like that. So that is true.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
man. Those guys, like I say, those guys took a liking to me, man. Marshall Falk, all those guys, man. When we went somewhere, all those guys wanted to come where I was coming to, man. Like I said, I was something like the life of the party. And like I said, they came down and do a show, Rap City. We was in the pool, and all of them wanted me to get on there and talk, man. They wanted me to be the spokesperson for the group. So I just got on there. Yeah, like I say, those were great memories, man. To be able to be on, that type of stage, man. 20, 21, 22-year-old kid from Greenwood. Like I say, coming from the Delta, man, it was, almost unbelievable.
Yeah, because when I saw it, I was like, that's Sherrod. I'm like, because they was like, it's Greenwood. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, that is. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but remembering that, I wanted to make sure. Like I said, it was years ago, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that was me. I did that. Then I missed one, man, go and get a haircut. If you look at if you watch the Nelly Air Force One video, you see all those guys in the video, and I'm over there getting a haircut and missed the video shoot, man.
So you missed another opportunity.
Yeah, missed the opportunity to be in the Air Force One video with Nelly, because every Tuesday night, man, we used to go out with him. He did a show every Tuesday night, and we would go every Tuesday night, man. Yeah. We were nailing the St. Lunatic. So we hung out with them, my crew, me, like I say, Dre Bly, and all those guys. We hung out with them. He give us clothes and stuff, man. And when he had that, came out with that Nietzsche, that was he came out. So he gave us all those free jumpsuits and things there. So we had a good time out there.
You an official member of the St. Lunatics out there. Okay. Look, I knew the Rap City thing, but I didn't know that, man. That's some good stuff, man. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, if you look at that,
but like you said, that camaraderie.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's built. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. That's great, man. Man, that's some. I ain't know that, man. That's something serious. Okay, so after your stint in the NFL, you go to the Canadian League, play for the Ottawa Renegades.
Yes.
And the BC Lions.
BC Lions.
So. After that, those chances, I guess you can say, were you just like, you know what, man, this ankle ain't gonna never get right, man. Let me just kind of move on from it.
Yeah, that's what I was up in, like I say, played with the BC Lions up in Vancouver, man. One of the great cities, in the world, man. Vancouver, that's a nice place, man. But I woke up one morning, man, and couldn't put no pressure on my foot, man. So I was like, yeah, it's about that time now. He probably did all he could do, and no need risking further injury to it. So I just went up to the coach, man, just told him, I'm finna give it up and, go into another direction, man. So I left there, got off the plane, and came, finished up. When I had 2 more classes I needed to finish up at Southern Miss, went and did that, and started my journey into coaching.
Okay. So in 2004, you was named to the Conference USA All-Decade team. So, like I said, going through what you went through at Southern Miss, having great years, and then having still a good year your senior year, but not the year you wanted to have, but to get nominated and honored to be in the All-Decade team. And how did that feel, knowing that basically you was noticed by your hard work and determination up at Southern Miss?
Oh, man, that was a great feeling, man. Anytime you can be on something like an all-decade team, man, you put in the work, and people have noticed the work that you've put in. So when they came out with their list, man, and some of the other things, all-decade team down to even at Southern Miss, I'm on there with guys like Brett Favre, Louis Lips, and those.
Adalius Thomas was on there too.
Adalius Thomas, Pat Surtain.
Okay.
All of us, man. Like I said, and all of us still, talk and do things now, man. So like I say, that was great, man. Getting down and, like you say, the camaraderie, meeting guys and forming them lifetime bonds, man. It's
nothing like that, man.
Nothing like it.
Okay, so now you see your football career is basically over. So what made you want to pursue coaching? Was it just you wanted to teach these youngsters? You know what I'm saying? What you know, or what made you pursue it?
Yeah, that was the reason. When I was playing ball, I had came back when I remember I came coming back to a game at Greenwood, and I was sitting there watching. During that time, they was down, and I was like, man, it's like football things. They way behind the other states of what I was seeing, and that. So I say, so once I got done, I said, let me come back and get in, and try to get in here and try to bring things up to par, man. Like I say, help some of these kids in the inner city to try to get to that next level, just college or whatever, getting a degree or whatever, but to make sure they have that opportunity as other kids around the state of Mississippi do, and have that contact base. Use all my contacts and things like that to give those guys an opportunity to get out there.
Okay, well that's good, man. Cause I mean, not too many people come to Greenwood. You know what I'm saying? And so just to have that for the kids at that time, to see someone that made it and willing to care to come back, because a lot of them they don't come back.
Stay away.
they be gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, but for you to come back and to lend a hand and all your connects, man, that was huge for them. I'm sure they really appreciate it at that time, of course. So now you're coaching. You said 15 years. Right. Man, seemed like yesterday, don't it?
Man, time just flying. Man. Time is flying.
Okay, so like I said, you're at Yazoo City now. Y'all just finished your season. How did that season go? How did your season go last year?
Man, we had a lot of injuries, man. Coming out preseason, we made national news. We had one Deion Sanders 7-on-7. He had us there to invite us back to one of their practices, man. Went out to Fletcher Cox 7-on-7. We won that. We didn't lose a game the whole season. And come right before we had two Jamboree football games that we had won, and right then, man, I lost 12 players, man.
What? 12?
12. It was devastating.
Dropping like fly.
Never seen anything like it. So we had to cancel my JV season, and those guys had to come up for us to have a season. Yeah. Luckily, we had some young kids that could play and not get hurt playing with those high school. So that's a big shot to those guys. Yeah. Some freshmen, like I had 6 or 7 freshmen starting this past year in the tough schedule we had, man. So, those guys went out and did as well as they can. Have some young guys do some good things. I was nominated to coach the top 10th grade games. I was the head coach of that game, and 3 of my players also came with me to that game. So,
cool.
It was a nice year this past year.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so let me ask you this before we wrap it up. Do you have any aspirations of possibly coaching in college?
No, I had that opportunity several times, man, to go to the college level. It just doesn't fit me, man. A lot of stuff goes on that people don't look at, and I'm not just that type of guy. Like you say, you see these schools, man, they offer 325 kids. So, if you're a coach and I go sit in your living room and say, I'm going to offer you a scholarship, then you can't get up 25, you come to signing day, you tell the kid, we're taking that, so I'm not into that type of game, man. So I just
basically breaking hearts.
Exactly. And that's one side that people don't see, you know what I'm saying? You see all these guys signing, but you don't see all the guys that are getting left out and done that way, and coaches had to do it to them, and so I don't want to be in that type of game. So, like I said, I had the opportunity to coach on the college level, but I'd rather just stick with high school, try to get those guys, give them the game to understand how the game is played during the college recruiting thing. And like I said, getting those guys opportunity. Like I said, I've been 15 years, and I think I had got over like 50 kids to sign scholarships, man.
Okay, cool, man.
So that's what I look forward to, man, getting those guys to have that opportunity to play on the next level.
That's great. So you being a coach, what's something that you, I guess I'm trying to say, almost every coach have like a saying. You know what I'm saying? Have something that, stay strong, whatever it is. What is something you preach to your kids, man?
Well, I really don't have a saying, man. Like I said, when you come in this area, man, it's really not a lot of structure and discipline. So that's my thing there. The kids, everywhere I go, they walk around, they go mess with me about it. They see me, y'all undisciplined. Y'all ain't got no structure, So that's the big thing there, man. Talk about discipline and structure, man. They mess me all the time about that, because there's one thing I'm big on. Like, man, this the delta, man. Y'all don't have that discipline. We got the talent.
Got it.
All the talent in the world, but when you go and play the Madisons and those people in those places, man, you have to be disciplined and structured. So that's my main talking point.
They mess with you about that all the time.
They mess with me all the time. Y'all, anybody do something, see, you ain't disciplined.
But that's all in fun because and they know that. And guess what? Exactly. Even though they saying that's gonna stick with them.
There you go. Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Okay. Exactly. Okay, man. So I got a couple of wrap it up questions, man, and then we're gonna call it fair. Things that come to mind when you think of these or when you hear these places or names. Jeff Bauer.
Legendary coach.
Okay. Todd Pinkston.
Great friend, great person, great friend, great person. And this year, even though it fell apart, he was supposed to become the head coach at his high school, and I was going to go over there with him, be his offensive coordinator, but it kind of fell through. And something bigger came through for him. Well, he ended up, after that fell through, he ended up being the running back coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, things just fell in line for him as far as that. So, yeah, he's a great person, great friend, man.
Okay, that things happen for a reason.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
Greenwood High.
My starting point, the place that taught me the discipline and structure. Like I say, back then, man, that school really, even though we came from those neighborhoods, wherever you came from, McAllen, GP, whatever you did on the street, they didn't allow you to do that out to the school. And I think we can use some of that now, man. Some of the discipline and structure we had back then in those schools, everybody respected the teachers. Teachers were going to put you in your place. If we had some of that now, I think Greenwood would be a better place.
Man, you speaking that gospel now, boy. You speaking that gospel. Okay, top 3 wide receivers of all time. Who's your top 3 NFL wide receivers of all time?
Top three. Jerry Rice.
Okay.
Randy Moss.
Okay.
Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and I'll go with Isaac Bruce.
Okay.
The Reverend Ike B.
Okay, then. Okay. All right. So you did play a little basketball. So do you still follow basketball?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, man, I love it, man. I love all sports, man. I still love it.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Your top 5 NBA players right now. Your top 5.
Top 5 right now.
Right now. Your top 5.
Right now in the game.
Yep.
Number 5.
It ain't even got to be in
no order. Okay,
okay.
Top 5. Okay.
I know it be hard trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So I go with LeBron, KD, Giannis, LeBron, KD, Giannis, Embiid, and I go with Luka. Yeah.
Okay. Man, what's going on with Luka and Kyrie,
I don't know,
man?
Him and Kyrie, they can't get it together, man. They cannot get it together.
One dribble for 12 seconds, the other dribble for the other 12 seconds.
The shot
clock go, man. No. Okay, who was one of the toughest cornerbacks you had to face, man? Whether it's high school, college, or even in the NFL, like who was one of the toughest cornerbacks you had?
I would say Pat Surtain, man. We went together against each other every day in practice, man. It was a battle. The coach would make us in every day, me and him going, one-on-one when we get through with our drill. So he ended up being a second round pick, legendary guy with the Dolphins. So I would say Pat Surtain.
And his son doing big things in Denver, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So what before games? What you listen to, man? What you had up in the headphones back in the days, or the boom box they had in the locker room? What was you listening to?
I didn't really listen to no music, man.
Okay.
I just ready. All I needed was Saturday or whatever it was to get there, man. Once I got there and get to smelling that grass and people get to walking up to that stadium, man, that's all I needed to go out there to get me motivated, man.
Okay. All right, man. So last question, man. Would you change anything about your journey, or you think it was set the way it was meant?
Man, I wouldn't change anything, man. Like I said, I wouldn't change anything. Even though the injury occurred, I think God had better things for me to come back to this area and bless those 50 kids, like I say, that signed those scholarships, man, and give those guys that opportunity to go to the next level, to go to college. Some of them probably thought they would never be able to go to college, but be able to get those guys in college, man, there's been a great accomplishment, man. I'd rather do that any day, than be playing professional football, which was a great thing. But like I said, I wouldn't change anything, man. And I tell people a lot of times, man, the best part of my life was those early years, man. Even though growing up in Greenwood and being raised in GP, man, those was probably the most fun times of my life, man. Just how the people treated you, how your family treated you, how everyone stuck together, man. That was a nice time, man. And I really enjoyed those days.
Okay. Well, Sherrod, man, I sure appreciate you, man, for having the time, man, to do this for me, man. It's an honor. Like I said, seeing y'all grow up, man, from you, from Slim, from Bert, even if it was football, basketball, whatever it was, man, looking up to y'all, man, it's an honor, man, just to have you sitting down with me, man, and to do this for me. So I appreciate you, bro.
Oh, no problem, man. No problem.
All right, man.
All right, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Game over.
Yeah, player. Back up in the motherfucker, turn them bound. Turn that shit up there. Early in the morning in that cougar. When it's tinted in that thing. Skizzy, sliz, or miser, is they out to make some stain. On some niggas with their head in the sky. That's how we ride. Chipping out on a player, junk, getting so fucking high. One time on my mind, pull it behind me, spoiling my fun. Couple of guns, taking no charge, breaking that thing and run. Fast as I can, putting them coppers to the test. I'm tired from heavy chief and got that smizzle in my chest.
I got these windows tinted front, back inside the